Yo, just so you know too, I just made the title of this lessons I learned as a solopreneur running a 220,000 a year business.
What? I see
just, just so you know,
you.
we live, man. We live. So we're gonna wait for people to join in. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm gonna wait for people to join in. Oh, I should have changed my damn my like if you look at the actual YouTube screen, it has a different yo smile real quick. Wait, hold on. All right, go ahead. All right, good looks. I'm about to put that. I'm about to put that as the.
Bro, just got me. Yo, I know I probably look ugly as hell, man. I just
Yo, bro, stop, bro. Nobody
yo, nah,
cares,
bro.
man.
Yo, you caught me off guard with that shit.
Yo,
All right, let me see. Oh, damn, my bad.
bro, nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro.
I do.
Nah,
I
you
feel
good?
like everybody else cares now. Damn.
All right. We gonna.
Let's see. I'm about to start it
What's
up.
going on, guys? I know I'm live. I ain't saying anything yet. I see we got one viewer tuning in
Okay.
so far. Um, let me just change this thumbnail and then we will start talking. Let me just man, this year we gonna start off talking about I mean we could start while I'm doing this. We could just talk about this year.
Okay.
So how you feel about this year overall, man? We in the last quarter. You know, it's December 12th. We only got a couple of days left.
Yeah.
How you feeling about the year from a professional and also a personal standpoint?
Oh, man, a lot has changed in the landscape. I'll say that much. AI is running rampant over here, and then we're trying to figure out how we can track all those metrics and everything and explain that to clients. A lot has changed from the beginning of the year to now. So yeah, and just trying to figure out exactly which way I want to go with how AI is affecting SEO now in the landscape. Yeah. How about
Yeah,
you?
I feel like, man, like I've been working on a lot of different projects recently and things are definitely changing, but I'm very optimistic about the future. I don't think that we're going to be in a marketing apocalypse where everybody's going to die. Like marketing is going to die per se. I think it's just going to change. I do think it's going to be way harder for people who are entry level. I think it's going to be way harder now, but just in general, man, I feel like there's so much opportunity now, especially because of the fact that everything is much harder to track. So it's like I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of companies that emerge in the new year that are going to want to specifically pay for research and development to understand how marketing works. You know what I mean? Or like SEO works. Because I've
Right.
always said, like for the longest time period, I've always told people that at the end of the day, SEO is not marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was telling people that years ago, people was looking at me like I'm crazy.
Right.
It's obvious now because the things that you do in order to show up in AI
Yeah.
is it marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right. Right.
marketing, doing more technicality or more technical stuff that it's like both technical and also about like strategic content positioning. But I feel like that's where everything is going. Like everything is going towards how are we positioning ourselves with the content for all of the clients that we're working on? How are we? I think honestly, to synthesize it all, I would say if I had to sum up where SEO is going in 2 words, I would literally say product centric. And the reason why
Okay. Okay.
I say that because if you focus on the product,
Right.
then everything else will just spread as a byproduct of having a good product. You see what I'm saying? The more people, because the way AI works right now is it's like creating synthetic word of mouth, I like to call it, right?
Right. Yep.
Like it's literally doing the research for you and it's picking it based off of what sources is saying that, that this is who you should be going for whatever product you're looking for, whatever. So I think like now, because everything is so focused around product, even for service-based businesses, for example, I think like as long as you're focusing on that aspect of it and you're optimizing for brand performance across, the web or whatever,
Yeah.
I think this is kind of like that's how you win in AI's landscape. So I think the biggest issue right now is just tracking and being able to communicate the value of it to clients. But it's like if you start to see traffic coming into your website from all of these different LLMs, and you also start to see conversions, then it's easy to just tie it back to the work that you're doing because effective like AI, SEO, or AEO, whatever we want to call it, all it's doing is it's retrieving information from these different search engines, from Google, from Bing, in order to showcase its search results, or to recommend something. So that's why I think like everybody's so concerned these days about tracking, like what keyword am I ranking for, and I think that's a complete wrong way of looking at AEO, in my opinion. I think instead you should be tracking what is the brand that is being mentioned. Like, what are my brand? How frequently am I being cited as a brand?
Right.
In like a LLM? Because at the end of the day, like if somebody says I want to buy new running shoes, who should I go to? And it says Michael Jordan.
Right.
Why do I care about them saying I want to buy new running shoes? Like I just care about that I came up, right? So I think that's where it's gonna go. So yeah, man, I feel like that's what this whole landscape has looked like in SEO on like a more, I would say, professional side, right? And how that has affected me, like the changes in the landscape is I've seen it multiple different ways, man. Like on one end, it's been a lot of new business because everybody wants to crack the new code of AEO.
Right.
Then on the other end, it's been a lot of like lost business for the people who can no longer afford to compete or have the budget to fund it. You know what I'm saying? For me to even see if it will work for them because it's more expensive now.
Okay.
I think overall SEO is rising in price, and so yeah.
What businesses do you think are being immediately affected by this?
Wait, what?
In what industry? What businesses do you think
I think
are being immediately affected by this?
Every industry is being affected by it, but I think like what we're seeing is even though every industry is being affected, like obviously here's the thing that I told people a long time ago and nobody listened, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Eric Gamble, what's up, bro? A long time ago, I called this. I said, I don't know if you remember this, but I said, if you were trying to build a business that wasn't like a real business, like an affiliate site, for example, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Anybody could sit down in their backyard and build an affiliate site and just make money, right? It doesn't really contribute any real value. Yeah. So like, because that's so accessible, I saw from like 6 years ago that shit dying. Because I'm like, if you think about historically how business has worked outside of the internet, when were you ever able to just create a website that reviews a whole bunch of stuff for the sake of just ranking, right? And you make money off of it, or like rank and rank. When was that ever a thing outside of the internet, right?
Right.
I think like it degrades Google's product, and because it degrades Google's product, it doesn't provide the user with the best experience. You see what I'm saying? So everything to me that doesn't provide the user with the best experience, that's going away. You're no longer going to be able to do it. So the reason why I want to shift into product, why I keep telling people product is the future, is because if you focus on product, whether it's a service or actual product, because in order for you to be like, if you're a landscaping company, but your company isn't productized, then at the end of the day, like you're not a real company. You're just a one-man army doing all the work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I think everything needs to be systematized in order for it to be an actual business. The entrepreneur needs to be able to step away from the business, and the business needs to be able to run itself, right?
I agree. Okay.
Right. So like I think like if you focus on the product,
Yeah.
and you put the product first, you'll build something remarkable. And remarkable means building something worth making a remark about.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. So I feel like so on a professional level,
Yeah.
that's kind of where it's been for me, and kind of like what I think is going to get impacted, and what I have been seeing that's impacted. On a more personal level, I would say, man, this year was kind of a roller coaster. And you know this,
Yeah.
me, Morris, like I've been up and down with trying to figure out what my next move is, because I've generated so much money online for so many businesses, and I know I see all of the opportunities, and it's like, I wrote this down because I told you I wrote down some stuff that we can talk through.
Oh,
But
okay.
this was like number 2, but I'll just say what it is.
Okay.
A focused fool can accomplish more than a distracted genius. So I feel like even with me knowing all of the opportunity, knowing how to make money, like even the things that I be sometimes coming up with in my mind, like even when we were talking earlier, and I'm saying, yo, bro, I realize that most people who do YouTube, they coach.
Right.
And you have to do that. That's the game of YouTube.
Right.
You can find anybody on YouTube who's not coaching. Like, people don't just want information, they want validation, right? Like, you can get information from ChatGPT. Is that shit right or wrong?
True.
How am I gonna know?
True.
Right? I gotta get somebody to validate it for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna waste my time. I'm gonna follow what ChatGPT told me to do, and then I might waste a whole bunch of time. And it's like, do you want to pay? Like, smart people pay for their own ignorance. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather put money down towards something to save me time,
right,
to fill the gap in my knowledge, so I can make the move and then make my money on the back end, than to just try to figure it out by myself. And I'm failing and I'm failing and I'm failing, and I ain't making no progress. I'm moving, but I ain't moving nowhere, right? I'm like running on a treadmill. So I ain't trying to do that. You know what I mean? So I feel like with all of this stuff happening, with me having all this background, with me consulting, and as you and even Jamar's knows, like, that's all I've been doing recently is just consulting, working with big companies. But like, with me doing all of that, bro, I just realized, man, like, this is a whole nother can of worms, and I want you to go too. So
that's right. I'm listening,
With me doing all this stuff that I've been doing, I just noticed that running a solo business, like as a one-person operation, as you know, I had Jamaris before helping me out with Google Ads for the clients, because I didn't want to do that. But like, running a one-person, just like focused on what I'm doing, has been hectic, man. Like, it's a roller coaster. And especially if you say to yourself, like, oddly enough, this is so funny because this has been my least focused year, but at the same time, it's also been my most focused year in a weird way, because if you look at my growth before, like, the only thing I focused on before was having multiple income streams, right? Like, I had coaching, I had courses, I had affiliate websites, I had sponsorships, I had like different deals, right? Now this year, I said I'm going to focus on consulting, and that's all I did. I had like one coaching person that I worked with because he kept asking to work with me. And I'm like, all right, I got you, bro. And aside from that, I wasn't coaching like that. You know what I mean? Well, actually, that's not true. I had 2 other people I was coaching, 3 people that I coached this whole year, right? And aside from that, like, my whole focus has been consulting, right? And in doing that, it made me realize, this is this is like the irony. Focusing on it made me realize I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be a consultant.
Was there a common denominator within those projects that you realize you're like, all right?
The number one thing for me was realizing that the big marketing doesn't contribute any value. And I say it like this, right? Not to look down on what we do, but it doesn't contribute any value in the sense that if you give me a product that's not good, and I run ads on it, or I do SEO for it, the only thing I'm gonna do is help you run out of money faster. If you give me a product that's good, and I run ads on it and I do SEO for it, The only thing that's going to do is spread something that actually works, that has tangible value in the world, right? So the growth isn't contingent upon the marketing, it's contingent upon the product. So now the issue becomes when you, and this is something I've known for the longest, but it used to be easier because back then it didn't require as much money as now in order to succeed, right?
Do
When
you
you,
think AI plays a point in that, or just the market getting smarter as time progresses?
I think it's a multitude of different things. The market is getting smarter, advertising is going up, the tactics that used to work, people are becoming desensitized to them. Like everybody's getting used to everything. When
Mhm.
people see that you're saying, "Oh, get this product right now," or "You're not going to be able to get this 50% discount,"
Right, with the
for
time
them to
down.
realize,
Yeah.
nah, that's bullshit. Like I don't have to buy that shit. I'm gonna
Right.
come back to it later when I want to. You know what I mean? So I think like that was the common denominator, was realizing that marketing doesn't really contribute value. It just amplifies what already is. And so
Okay.
I wanted to for me it was like I know I didn't want to do this because it doesn't contribute any value, and because it doesn't, it only amplifies. This means that my success is contingent upon of like it's a lot of qualification of who I want to work with, right?
Right.
And so at that point, in the same breath, too, when you work with these people, you're only helping to grow other people's businesses. So
True.
at that point, I would rather just put all my focus and all my effort on my own product, right?
Right.
And I feel like this is like focusing on this is what made me realize that this is not the thing, at least for me, that I'm gonna keep doing long term. You know, I still get paid handsomely from it. I still like it. As you guys can see, like my business earns around $220,000 a year right now. And I've had more than this. I've also had less. You know what I mean? And so like, but there's other. Don't even get me started about taxes. You know what I mean? Like
Uncle Sam gotta get his.
forty
Yeah. Yeah.
percent, 40% of 220K go to taxes. All right, so get an LLC and start writing shit off. Um, shit is crazy, man. So yeah, so I feel like that was a lot, but on your end, I know like right now, like you work at at an agency and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is like your role being impacted by everything that's happening? And are you at a space where you're interested in going into working with clients? I know you had a few clients of your own as well.
Yeah.
Or are you more so just like, you're just looking at new opportunities overall? Like or are you just content? Like, do you like what you're doing and stuff like that?
Um. ah. So, like you said, right? As far as a product being great, right, and then it's you're focused more on that product. A lot of clients are focusing on, hey, is my brand showing up? Is like, is anyone searching up X and so Toyota, so and so? Like, they're not worried about, hey, is the 2026 Toyota Camry selling a lot? No, they want to know, in their brand area, are people searching for lease deals? When they search for lease deals, or they search for other deals, financing discounts or so forth, is their brand showing up? So those have been a lot of questions that's been coming to my desk when it comes down to that. And a lot of people, a lot of clients don't understand that AI isn't as advanced as they think it is.
Yeah.
Proximity matters and all these other things. And it's just like, as you said, AI can advise you, but it's not doing the legwork to really be out here and say, all right, cool, yeah, this is actually, this is what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it's just pretty much nurturing the client, explaining like, hey, this isn't the case, but you are showing up and we're working on it. And it's pretty much like making sure you can track that visibility. As we said, like, we understand that that's one of the biggest pain points we have right now. And when we have these third party applications, as far as like SEMrush goes, Ahrefs and whatever it may be, are they giving us accurate data?
Mm.
Or are they giving us a guesstimate of what it could be, right?
Yeah.
If I got a prime example, like, all right, you connect Google Search Console Analytics to SEMrush, right? But before you do that, it's giving you a whole different metric, telling you, hey, you don't have that many users or your engagement rate is low for the month. And then when you connect to another platform, more reliable and accurate platform, now like, all right, cool, you're getting the right data.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, visibility is definitely a big pain point. As far as my industry too, though, I like it, but there's a couple things I kind of look outside the scope of just marketing itself, and I look at the landscape of the economy. It's like, does everybody have money to buy a new 2026 so and so? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah.
market it to those people. So that's another thing I keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, when it comes down to my end of things, I think organic, we still reign king, so we don't have to worry about the client. Hey, you need to spend X amount of dollars, a bit more, because as you mentioned, ads aren't cheap anymore.
Right,
Now you need to bump up that, and then we seen that Chat GPT is coming out with ads, right?
right, right, right.
So we know that's going to be another can of worms. And you mentioned, yeah, we should definitely get on that. So that'd be a great scope to dive into. And as far as where I see myself, in the next couple of years, as far as automotive goes, I probably want to wean out of automotive
Mm-hmm.
and more into like an in-house brand. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'd be able to grow better
Mm-hmm.
in the scope of things, and not just rely on, hey, where the agency serving. No, how is our brand performing? How much creative control do we have as well too? Because yes, I love SEO, but I feel as though just marketing in a whole goes above and beyond the technicalities of what SEO
Yeah,
is, you know.
yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, and we're both business minded, so we're not just going to think
You're
in
not
a employee mindset.
silo, yeah, in a silo. You
Right?
know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
yeah.
so I wrote down 12 of my biggest lessons, and I wanted people to come in. I'm gonna skip one because we already went through one,
Okay. Okay.
but I wrote down 12 of my biggest lessons. Well, I wrote down quotes that remind me of my biggest lessons, and
Okay.
I feel like some of these lessons are lessons that I've relearned that I already knew that it just cemented it in my head this year, and then some of them are new things that I started to recognize. So I'm gonna say like the quotes that I wrote, and
Okay.
I'll let you talk about like what it reminds you of, and I'll
Okay.
also talk, or maybe I could talk about what it reminds me of first, and I
Yeah.
can let you go after.
Okay. Cool.
So the first thing that I wrote down was, "This is crazy, man. What you say is more important than what you do. Communication is a skill that will break down the barriers and open the doors that you want." So, in my honest opinion, it doesn't matter how good you are at the technical skills.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
being good at SEO or marketing, like PPC, um, all of these building websites, that doesn't matter when it comes to making money. What matters the most and what gets you the most opportunity is being able to articulate yourself in a way that allows you to speak clearly. And this can be different for different environments. In some environments, you want to speak slow. In some environments, you want to speak faster.
Mm.
Sometimes you want to lower your voice. Tonality matters a lot. Sometimes you want to raise your voice. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the circumstance. But I found that, and a lot of the times too, when people hear about communication, they think about public speaking, speaking on stages. I'm not saying that you need to be able to speak on stages. I'm saying that you need to be able to understand how to have interpersonal communication skills with an individual that you're speaking to. Because if you want to achieve a specific outcome, you have to be able to communicate what you're going to get from that and what they're going to get from that. Because people care about themselves, right? And so the way to make the most progress with organizations, with making money, with a career, increasing your career trajectory, or anything of that sort, is being able to articulate it. And I don't mean using big words. Like a lot of people think that you got to say things like I'm perspicacious and indefatigable and all this stuff. You don't have to say none of that. You know what I mean? You don't have to say no big words in order to be able to communicate clearly. You just have to be, and I'm going to say a big word, compendious. You have to be concise. You have to be able to speak in a way that everybody understands. I used to admire Jordan Peterson when I would listen to him speak, and then after a while, I started to realize that that's probably A tier speaking, not S tier speaking. And the reason
Okay.
why is because not everyone can, even though he does a really great job of being able to talk in a story like manner and and paint a vivid picture in your head.
Yeah.
He speaks in such a way that you have to listen to it over and over and over and over again to extract the lesson that he's trying to give you, right? And he's trying to project onto you. So I think like an S tier speaker, I would say, is Naval Ravikant, right? I
Okay.
think he's very concise. He says what he needs to say. He gets it to the point. But to bring it back around, that is the most important skill to me. If I had to tell somebody to learn one thing, I would say written and verbal communication, because everything else doesn't matter if you can't articulate yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something that resonates with you? Like,
Yeah.
being in the environment that you're in and just learning about everything that you're learning about, how far has communication got you compared to technical expertise? And
It
you can
helped
be
me.
real. You can be real. Like you can say
It
like,
helped me avoid a lot of extra explanations or extra responsibilities when I don't like need to, or just like pretty much prevent fires, because as I said, when you speak to a client, you do have to watch your words. If they ask you something like, hey, what's going on with this, or hey, I'm seeing this on my end on Google, and you have to let them know like, it's not what you think. Like, yeah, this is going on, but yeah, we're working on it. We have it all already taken care of, and hey, if you need to see more, I can provide that for you, right? And usually after you baby them, it's like, okay, thank you. They're
right,
just
right, right, right.
like, all right,
And you
cool.
know what? I will add on that too. If you like, a lot of the times we're afraid to tell a client about themselves.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes if a client is banging at your door asking you, why isn't this done this way? And there's a limitation on their side that preventing them from being able to get the outcome that they want, then
Right.
you have to tell them it's your fault. You obviously don't say it's your fault, but
Yeah.
you say it in such a way that you basically subliminally are letting them know that it's their fault.
Right.
I'll give you a specific example. I had a client this week that I was working with, that I'm still working with, who we're doing this thing called content hubs. And the whole idea behind it is to launch a whole bunch of content so that they can get more traffic, top of funnel traffic, whatever. This wouldn't have been my approach in this landscape, but this was something that the previous person who was working on it recommended to them, and I'm taking it over, and they want to continue this initiative.
Okay.
So as I'm explaining this to this, as I'm explaining this to the client, we find out that they have a limitation on Shopify. And Shopify prevents them from being able to use the URL structure that was provided to them. So as I'm explaining this to them, the person who is overseeing the project on their side, he starts to get frustrated and says, you're our SEO vendor and you should have known this and blah, 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 and all this other stuff about how, I should have known the limitations of Shopify.
Right.
Mind you, I hadn't been working on his account that long to even know that they were on Shopify. I'm a consultant. I create decks and I pass them the recommendations. I don't go in the back end of their website.
Right.
So after he said that to me, I said to him, you know what? You are absolutely right. You know what? You're so right. Here's what I want to do for you.
Yeah.
This document that we just reviewed, this was actually a document that was pre-approved. Do you remember approving this from the other person that you was working with before I was on the project? He said, yes. I said, awesome. I said, which means that along the lines of you approving this document, there might have been a conversation before about the limitations of your Shopify, correct?
Okay.
He said, you know what? I think I remember that now. I said, okay. I said, oh, you do remember that? I said, okay. So let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember specifically what were the challenges that your development team had when trying to overcome this challenge before I got here? He was like, you know what? I don't remember. I said, okay, so this is what I want to do for you because I'm so concerned about your success. I said, this is what I want to do for you because I'm so concerned about your success.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. I need you and your whole team to get me on a call with your development team as soon as possible. I want to make sure you're at the top of my day tomorrow. So I need you to send me an invite as soon as possible so I can talk to your development team to uncover why they were unable to accomplish the end result that you want,
Yeah.
right? And then once I talk to them,
Yo, you hit him with a Jedi mind trick. Okay.
yeah, once I speak to them, right, as your SEO partner,
Yeah.
once I speak to them, I will definitely make sure that we are able to implement this and get the results that you want. How does that sound?
Yeah.
He said, that sounds awesome. I said, great, because the person on your, just to be transparent,
Yeah.
I know we're talking about this now. You came to this conversation late, but it was actually someone on your team who mentioned this to me. I didn't even know that you guys had this limitation. So this was your organization's problem.
Right.
I'm going to help you fix it, right? So let's talk to your development team. So today, funny enough, because this happened yesterday, I got on the call with their development team. And when I got on the call with their development team, I said, client, I'm not going to say the client's name because it's a huge client.
Yeah.
Client said that they presented you this documentation. This was pre-approved months ago in August. What roadblocks and challenges did you guys run into in order to execute this? The development team is like, this was never presented to us. Oh, so they never showed this to you? No, they never showed it to us. Okay, hey, I'm going to call this guy Jesse.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, you never communicated with your development team that this needed to be executed. What happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was just so busy. I forgot, man. I had launches and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, well, now if we're late on this project, right, just know that the reason why we're late is because we have to get through this problem, right? You understand that? Yeah, I understand. I said, okay, so what can I do to help you solve this problem for you?
Yeah.
Now, I done flipped everything back on this motherfucker.
Yeah. Now
I flipped everything back on him while also keeping a good relationship.
Right.
Because he came to realize that he was the issue.
Yeah.
He came to realize that this was their problem internally.
Yeah.
And he said, thank you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was able to, communicate a solution. So was there something I could have did? Maybe. I could have probably went into there, saw that it was Shopify, saw that, oh shit, this is a limitation, brought it to their brought it to the forefront, but I didn't. Yeah. And truth be told, I was busy. Right? I didn't have time to do that. I'm doing work for them. I got other clients. Like, you're not at the top of my list. So with that being said, that was an instance where communication saved my ass. Right? It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
But I was able to flip it back on them.
Right.
And so, and you've seen me in sales calls this year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You see how I'm able to sell, right? Yeah. I'm selling. Guys, like at the end of the day, when it comes to this business stuff, people tell you need the sales script and all this shit. You could ask Don right here. Don, do I ever use a sales script?
Nope. All on the fly.
100 off the top of my head. Yeah. Do I make shit up as I'm talking?
Yes.
Okay.
Go with it.
When I'm selling something to people, I'm communicating outcomes. I'm going off the top of my head. Even if I have a scope of work, I'm thinking about the scope of work, but then I'm thinking about other things that I can add into the scope of work because I'm trying to get the biggest price that I could get and the biggest sale that I could get from this client. Right? I think having a script is the easiest way to mess you up. If I'm reading a script, hey, do you want to get 6 leads in 7 days? That's going to fuck me up.
Right.
I gotta stick to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Versus just having a regular conversation. See, the problem that people don't understand with sales is that sales is less about being able to convince someone of something and more about bringing a belief that they already have to the forefront. So if you have to convince somebody of something, then that means that person was never going to buy from you in the first place. But if somebody already has an inner belief that this is possible, then all you got to do is be a motivational speaker. And when you're a motivational speaker, they'll buy into the idea because they're buying into the story that they've already sold themselves. You see what I'm saying? So
Chad, you gotta clip that. Gotta clip that one.
They're buying into the story that they already sold themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not about selling a story to them. It's about bringing one to the surface. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So
Okay.
that was a number one. That was like, a big, big, big lesson for me. So it's funny that you say that because I had to like, pivot it back to that. You know what I mean?
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. I think another thing that I learned this year was the pursuit of knowledge can sometimes be a bad thing. Less is more. The less you know, the more narrow your thinking is, and the more focused you can become.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think like, I mean, how you
Yeah.
go ahead. How do you feel about that?
Ah, man, we have these
We have
talks.
these
Oh
debates,
man,
these
yeah,
discussions
yeah.
all the time. So
The amount of ideas we brainstorm on, bounce off each one another, it's just like, yeah, we have so many possibilities. I think that's one of our greatest strengths, but as at the same time, it gives us analysis paralysis. Like it cripples us when it comes out of putting action to the forefront, because it's just like, man, we see the possibilities, we know what we can do. So yeah, that one's definitely tricky because and it comes from our experience. I must say, man, like we're both excuse me, we're both charismatic too when it comes down to even talking to clients or just getting your way and getting that sale, right? So it's just like, all right, I know the possibilities are endless. I know what I'm capable of. It's not like,
yeah,
all right, I can only get these type of people. That would just, all right, cool, we'll be laser focused. But it's just like, oh man, I got this one. Oh man, I got this. This industry is like, I could go anywhere. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, all right, I gotta stick with something. And then we also do hone in on our belief. But what do we feel good doing? How do we want to feel when we've accomplished this? It's yeah, it's a bit of both, man. What do you have to say about that?
I feel like ignorance is bliss, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The more
yeah.
you read, the more you expose yourself, the more you find out about new business models, the more things that you learn, the harder it is to get things to work.
Yeah.
Because you see the opportunity in everything.
Yep.
And you see the downfall in everything. Especially when you couple that with real world experience, like you have the experience of doing this. Ignorance is bliss. So I like to tell people like one of the biggest takeaways I would say that I learned this year in general is you need to like shiny object syndrome is a real thing. I think everybody should. I think the way you should find out what you want to do is you actually do it for a specific amount of time, like amount of time.
Yeah.
You run it like a personal experiment on yourself. So if you say I want to be I want to start a marketing agency, and I think you need to set a goal of 6 months, of getting clients, like figuring out how to get clients, stuff like that, figuring out how to, um, productize your service, hire someone, blah 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 blah, and set a goal of 6 months and just do it and just document everything like every day. What did you do? What led to a result? What led to getting that client? Blah 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 blah. Give yourself time. I would even say go as far as a year. Because the thing is that we try to make decisions in a day for something that could last the next 10 years of our life. And sometimes you need to make a longer, like you need to take a longer period of time to make a decision. But the thing is that a pound of action is worth more than a pound of knowledge, right? So you want to be able to put what you are thinking about into action so that you can see at the end of what you've done what the result is and if you actually enjoy it. If you do not enjoy it, then you don't stick with it. And if you enjoy it, then you stick with it. But I think everybody needs to have some sort of like time frame to allocate towards what it is that they want to do so they can know aside from the hype, the shiny object, like what do I want to do? You know what I mean? If you're a people person, you like talking to people, then maybe you should start an agency. If you're an introvert, you like being in the corner by yourself, then maybe you shouldn't start an agency. You know what I mean? Like it's contingent upon what fits your personality. And I think everybody should build something based off of their personality.
I agree. I agree.
I feel like the next okay, so this is another one, man. We were just talking about this yesterday.
Which one?
So every business has a different growth lever. Social media won't fix your business issues. if you're focusing on YouTube, you might as well accept that you're going to be coaching people. So I feel like one of the things that everybody thinks that they need to do because of all, especially if you're in the internet age, because of all the hype,
Right.
is you think that you need to follow Dan Cole, you need to follow Alex Hormozy, you need to follow Hormozy, you need to
Yeah.
follow Iman Ghazi. But I want you to ask yourself when you're doing this stuff, what type of business do I want to run? Because what you need to do to grow that business will be like your business growth is contingent upon the lever that it takes to grow that specific business. So I'll give you an example, right? One of the biggest law firms in the world is Morgan and Morgan. Do you ever see someone from Morgan and Morgan online trying to teach other people how to grow a law firm?
Yeah.
Do you ever see someone from Morgan and Morgan online creating like informational content per se?
Right.
That's usually the last thing that they do. And if you do see that, they have a whole ecosystem. They have ads running. They're not just relying on YouTube, right? So I think that, like social media is not the fix to grow your business. It's a fix to grow a certain type of business. And if you want to succeed on social media, then you need to ask yourself what business fits social media. Because there's some businesses that the things that you do offline will contribute more growth than online. Like I think if you want to grow a marketing agency, if you look at all of these guys like Ruan Marino, Nathan Gotch, Brian D, all these guys, right?
Yeah.
That make content. A lot of the times they never tell you if you watch their videos on how to grow an agency, they never ever tell you if you want to grow an agency, you need to focus on creating content on YouTube.
True.
They never do that. And from my experience, I've gotten one lead from YouTube, and for the marketing agency, and that was because this guy studied marketing, so he wanted to know more about marketing. He was in a higher position in a company doing marketing for the company. He came to me for help, offered to hire me on to help them with their marketing, but the person who was the ideal customer avatar was a marketer, not a founder. And usually, if you're going after a founder, like if you're going after a founder, most of the times that founder probably doesn't have money. Because if they had money, they wouldn't be going on YouTube searching for how to do my own SEO, how to run my own PPC. They would be paying someone to do it.
Right.
So I've learned that you almost never want to go like if you think social media is going to fix, you got to understand who are you going to attract on social media is going to be people that want to accomplish what you've accomplished.
Right.
That's why when you look at, junk removal channels and they're huge or whatever, a lot of the times when they're creating content, they're selling a course because they're going after the previous version of themselves, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with selling courses or helping people to accomplish what you've accomplished. But I just think I think ultimately it really comes down to what your focus is and understanding that. Like I think people need to be cognizant of it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, what you think about that? Focusing on social media to grow your business and not focusing on social media, or like, what's your take?
I actually agree with a good amount of things that you said from just hearing, your experience, Jamaris's experience as well too. That's usually what happens, and I feel as though it's a great ecosystem for coaching, and finding people, as you said, that are in that step one of their life. You're marketing to your younger self or your inexperienced self that wants to get where you are. So I think that is definitely true. And when it comes down to those business owners or founders, that's when you take that offline approach where they're in these conferences or in these in these spaces, these networking events. So yeah, I agree.
I mean, even you told me yourself, like the number one way that the CEO at your company gets leads
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
to conferences and pitches herself in person.
yeah. That one too stood out to me a lot. Even when we get, I would say, like reference to other clients and onboarding them, yeah, it's usually like word of mouth. It's never online. I mean, to keep it real, they haven't even updated their website like that. So we don't rely on anything online.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's how it is, man. Um, it's crazy. Like it's crazy because you see these people on YouTube and they're telling all these people like, if you want to grow, make content, make content.
right,
But you don't. That's also dependent on what type of business you want to grow. So this is why a lot of the times too, guys, you can't really listen to people blindly. You have to experiment yourself and conclude yourself like to yourself what works. So even like Dan Cole, I love watching Dan Cole, but what Dan Cole never talks about is he started out as somebody who was teaching web design
all right,
because he had web design clients and he was a web design freelancer. So he started teaching people how to get web design clients. And he got known in that space. And a bunch of developers started following him on Twitter. And it's like people did not care about Dan Cole. They cared about the result that Dan Cole got.
mm,
And then after he taught people how to get web design clients, then he switched to teaching people how to grow a Twitter following, how to run a product. And now he had a audience of a bunch of people that were all following him for different reasons. So he was able to get more broad. And now he speaks about whatever because of the function of how his personal brand works.
right,
But it's like, and I don't think he's doing this on purpose. I just think the you got to kind of be aware that a lot of the guys that's going to tell you how to grow on social media
yeah,
often at times, or how to grow a business, often at times don't even remember the steps that they went through to get where they're at. And then even when they think that they know the like why it worked, sometimes their conclusion can be wrong. Like I would debate this with Danko. Like if I was on his channel and he told me that the reason why he grows because he was talking about whatever he wants,
yeah,
because I'm so seasoned with marketing, I could debate that. Like I know that that's not why he grew. So it's like when I watch some of these guys or I buy some of their products or whatever the case may be, I know how to interpret because like interpret the material because I understand it beyond the surface level of the tactical things that he's telling you to do.
right,
Right. Um. The next thing is the next thing is that I had was so here's another thing that I learned. People don't pay for information. People don't pay for transformation. That's the big thing people are saying. Oh, people pay for transformation.
yeah,
People don't pay for information. People don't pay for transformation because the transformation isn't there until they get it, right? So it's the anticipation, it's the dopamine, the anticipation of the transformation. But it's that's not what people are paying for though. They're paying for validation. People pay for validation. They want to know if what they have in their minds is the correct way to do it. That's it.
okay, yeah,
So AI, so everybody, if you're afraid of AI, newsflash, like it's not gonna take your what you're doing.
right,
It's not. And even if AI, here's another thing, man. I'm about to rant.
yeah, all right, let it rip, let it rip.
If AI
Yep,
was like, if you're worried about a job role,
yeah,
you should be worried about a job role because here's what the jobs do, right? In business, they always tell you not to sell a commodity. Why? Because when you sell a commodity, the value of a commodity goes down.
okay,
Well, how ironic or how convenient, I should say,
right,
is it that every single time you create a role for a job that multiple people can apply to based off of a certain criteria, that you're commoditizing that role because there's multiple people who have that skill set,
right,
right? So when there's multiple people who have a single skill set, that role becomes commoditized, and now they can dictate what the price of the role is worth.
right,
You can't dictate what Tesla is worth. Because how many Teslas are there?
Okay, I see. I
You
see.
can
Yeah.
dictate what an SEO specialist role is worth because how many SEO specialists are there?
Right.
So now, if you want to be able to to go beyond getting like to be worth more than what a position is valuing you at, then you need to be able to think outside of the box or outside of the role that society has crafted for you.
Okay.
And therefore, if you're worried about AI taking your job,
Right.
then you should be, right? Then you should be, because that means that anybody can take your job, not just AI. Fucking Joe
Okay.
Block can take your job because it's a role,
Right.
right? Now, here's the thing. When you start to create your own unique value, think of Kevin Indig, think of Jordan Peterson, think of all of these people that have a unique perspective on the world,
Right.
right? Think of Andrew Tate.
Right.
There's only one of them. There's only one of you too, but you allow society to put you in a box, right?
Okay. Okay.
So take yourself out of that box.
Yeah.
Guess what? Even if the job role gets filled, your role in the world is much bigger than the job role. It's just that you haven't seen the value of yourself yet, right?
But that
Everything that we want in this world, is already inside of us, right?
Okay.
It's a story that we've already sold ourselves. It's just a matter of bringing it to life.
Preach.
So it's like, if you're worried about AI,
yeah,
should be. But
yeah.
here's the good thing: it's only going to make it better for you to be worried about it. Because when you start to realize that AI can't do things outside of your job role that you can do,
right?
Other people can't do,
right?
Now you start to realize the unique value that you contribute to the world.
Okay.
You know so like, people shouldn't value themselves based off of a job title that somebody created for you. Value yourself based off of what you can contribute. And that's your own. You are your own amalgamation of your unique experiences that you've experienced in this world. So I always say to people when they ask me, should you be a specialist or should you be a generalist?
Yeah.
That you should be a generalist, because being a generalist is the only way to be specialized.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's be a jack of all trades than a master of none.
You have so much knowledge in so many different domains that having that knowledge in of itself creates a special you.
Yeah.
Right? That nobody can replicate. Because who's going to be able to argue with me about marketing, philosophy, science? I only know that. I synthesized all that information. Right? It's me. It's my information.
Right.
S4. Yeah. Everything that I learned in S4 that I can apply, I can take everything and consolidate it all, and that's my unique value to the world. My experiences. You see what I'm saying? So we have to start to look at ourselves beyond the title and look at ourselves from an experience view. Because you're not Daniel. You're a soul in your body that has experiences that have been brought to this world to get those unique experiences and then pass them on to the world to further the evolution of humanity. That's why wisdom is so important. See what I'm saying? Wisdom is your past experiences.
Yeah.
Pass your past experiences to the next, to the future.
Yeah.
Future of society, the children.
All right.
Man, we cook.
It's cooking. It's cooking.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think people pay for validation, man. They don't pay for information or whatever.
I like that one. Yeah.
I think so. We have what, about 5 more to get through.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna open up the floor for questions. Anybody has questions, and I'm gonna we're gonna get through these last 5, and then after we get through these 5, I'm gonna talk about how I'm gonna contribute to YouTube for people, because I think I've been talking about what I'm gonna be doing and stuff like that, but I want to also talk about what my goals are, how I'm gonna help everyone, and blah 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 blah. Because I feel pretty clear on that for the new year, and I'm just gonna stick to it.
Okay.
All right. So the next one is if you want to win, you need to sell a product. Even if you want to sell a service, you must productize it. To become rich, you need scale. Otherwise, you'll just be on a hamster wheel. And I feel like that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You need to be able to sell what you do at scale. That's it. McDonald's is not just a service; it's a restaurant. It's a product.
Right.
They have SOPs for everything. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, the next one is the fastest way to get news business is to always be pitching or to be running ads. You won't get customers from overnight from social media. Learn this the hard way.
Yeah.
As you can attest for me, that most of my leads have come from putting myself in uncomfortable positions and pitching,
Right.
like reaching out and telling people, yo, I need to get this account. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And contributing value. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure at like where you work at, that's probably where, aside from like, because y'all don't do social media,
Yeah.
like,
Nah, not too heavy. I get. You could say they do Facebook, but they're not really. To me, that's
there's nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. Man. So it's like y'all, the leads that y'all are getting are coming from, the CEO pitching herself or whatever. So,
Yep, a lot of that.
I think content is the first product that people interact with before they interact with the actual product from your business.
Okay.
So I think everything is content, not just content meaning YouTube content. I'm talking about even when you are giving a talk for, like on a stage, that's still content. It's like it's content in real time. But I think if you want to convince people that, or not convince, but if you want people to buy into the story that you're selling that they already have in their imagination, then you just need to create something that they resonate with.
Right.
Resonance is like the second best skill that anyone can learn to me. Oh, bro. All right, we're gonna skip to these ones.
Okay.
All right. Remote work gives you peace of mind and also enough silence to lose it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know you have a different take, so
like,
say your take, man.
I get it in a sense because
come to that conclusion, you know what I'm saying? But I want to know, like,
I think this one is a bit different. Our takes are going to be somewhat different, right? But I think we'll probably meet in the middle, where you've been in the industry for quite some time. So you've been in office, you've been hybrid too, and fully remote. So you know all aspects of it, right? I'll say me on the other end. This is my first job. I've been here like 3 years, going on 4 years now, right? Yeah. Fully remote. I'm loving it coming from a background where I was doing everything just in person, right? And that was a totally different field. But I can attest to that in the beginning, yes. Great. Time, freedom, everything, But then as time goes on, when it comes down to your growth, it's just like, oh man, who do I talk to? I can't just, hey, Dre, you right there. So, look over my shoulder and my coworker's right there. Nah, can't even go to nobody's desk. If I wanted to have a one-on-one with the CEO and be like, hey, so can't get up, go to a desk or whatever. I got to text her now. Everything's more virtual, or just networking, having those events, Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I definitely think it counteracts when it comes down to growth. Like it affects your growth and networking in the workplace. Definitely gives you the time freedom, location freedom. So I guess you can supplement that in a sense, but I think by the nature of things, no, someone will be like, oh, I'm working fully remote. I get to stay home and just,
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think as somebody who, my business is fully remote, I feel like it's not, especially because I run, like it's me by myself.
Yeah.
So I do interact with people because, as you know, sometimes like I work in pods with people because I typically pitch myself to, I work as I contract for big agencies. So even though I'm a contractor, I'm I'm still working with people, but not. But like I feel like the thing is that I don't know, man. Like most of my I live in Pennsylvania. I
Yeah.
live near the Philly area. Most of my opportunities still come from New York. Every client, every opportunity, everything comes from New York. From when I was going in the office, from when I was meeting people, from when I was going to the bars out there, from when I was doing all of that stuff in New York. So I feel like most of my success with business has always been putting myself in an environment that makes me almost kind of uncomfortable to a degree. Like, do I want to wake up and go drive to an office or whatever? No. Do I want to take the train to an office? No.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is that I think it makes me more productive because I'm uncomfortable to a degree. When I'm at home, I can do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Like I could get up and just work in my boxers if I want. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I do that. You know what I mean? So I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'll tell you like, oh, I wake up every morning and I get dressed and I have on an outfit. Man, I don't even comb my hair sometimes unless I gotta go on a client call. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And even sometimes when I go on a client call, I still don't comb my hair. I just put this hat on. You feel me? I turn it to the back. They never know if it's the same hat or not.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it's black.
Yeah.
So I always turn the shit to the back and just be like, yeah, what's going on, guys? You know what I'm saying? Might change my shirt. You feel me? Yeah, I'll take a shower, and stuff like that. Like obviously, but
I
it's
think he hitting to us. He in his boxes right now. But hey, man,
nah, bro. Nah, I got on
oh, you got on G.
Yo,
We gotta appreciate that. This is a
yeah.
special occasion. Okay. Yeah.
Yo, nah, bro. But yeah, man. So just being able to do that
Yeah.
makes me too comfortable.
I hear you. I
Makes
hear
me too
you.
comfortable. And if I'm be honest. Like everybody's not super honest on social media.
Yeah.
Some people say they honest, but they really not. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I do that, and it's not good. It's not good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Now, when you first started, though, how were you? Like, we're talking 3 to 5 year in the industry, Dre.
all right. So 3 to 5 years.
Were you always in the
I
office
would.
in your first 3 to 5 years, or
What was that?
were you always in the office from your first
Yeah,
3 to 5 years?
in the first in the like all right. So when I
Mhm.
first started, I always had a side hustle and I
Yeah,
always had a job,
yeah.
right? And I was in the office. I was going to the office a lot.
Okay,
Um, I want to say like 4 years in is when I became remote. But
okay,
I think, to be honest, I enjoyed I enjoyed the whole aspect of going into an office and working with people to solve challenging problems. And I
mhm,
also feel like at that time I had so much to learn. And I
okay,
don't want to sound big headed, but I feel like there's nothing else to learn. You know, like even with AEO coming out and everything, I'm at the precipice of that. So I'm learning with everyone else. I'm not playing catch up like I was before. So when I was playing catch up, I feel like it was more fun because it felt like it was always something new. Like, oh shit, like what's this?
right,
Versus with AEO, I'm just like, I see everything and I feel like I know everything that needs to be built. I'm just not willing to build it myself. And I'm just waiting for somebody else to build it. Right. So I think I think to a degree, me now, I'm more arrogant than I was before, if I'm being honest.
mhm,
I
okay,
think before I was more like all I saw was opportunity to make money.
okay,
And
okay,
now I made a lot of money.
okay,
Like, you know what I'm saying? And no, that's not to say like, oh, I'm not there's not times where I'm down, I'm not a millionaire. But I've made enough money to where I know that money is no longer the thing that fuels me anymore. You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? So now it's like I'm in a point of my life where I'm trying to find something that fuels me beyond what used to fuel me, which was the money. So that to me was the fun. It was the advancement, like getting the job, first getting the in. Like I had goals. The goal was, yo, I'm gonna get a job first.
yeah,
Got my job. I'm like, all right, I need to learn everything about SEO. I want to learn everything about email marketing. I want to learn everything about ads, blah, 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 blah. But they started learning all of that. Then it was like, damn, now I want to get more money. Okay, cool. Got more money. Damn. Now I want to be in a position where I'm managing people. I want to be a manager. Did that. Okay, now I want to fuck that. I want to be director. Did that. Then I'm like, damn. Like now I want to, I want to like work with a big brand. I want to be able to get some big brands under my belt. I'm tired of working with small businesses or whatever. Did that. So everything that I wanted to do, I kind of did. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, like I know the path to do. Like if I wanted to be a director at a company again, I could go be a director at a company again. I know what to do to be a director at a company again. Like I did it. I know the process. I know everything you got to do, and I know more about how you have to onboard as a director. Right? If I want to be a manager, managing people, I know what to do. So now it's like everything is too predictable. And you know that's my problem. When everything starts to become too predictable, I get bored. You know what I'm saying? And so now I feel like there's no room for growth in this way. So what's the natural next thing that you do? You start a business. I've been running businesses since I started damn near. But now I'm like fully independent, fully on my own with my business, and this isn't the first time, I had like first I was independent, then I was, first like within the 5 year span of me being in digital marketing, I had an independent business. Then I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back, become a director because I wanted to get that experience. And then I got out, did my own thing again, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely been, interchangeable. But now that I know what you need to do, now that I know the games you need to play, now that I know the company politics, all the things that you got to deal with, blah 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 blah. I don't. It's no more unknown for me in that aspect. So now I don't care about that no more. You know what I mean? So
So at this point, right, where you are in your life, right? Do you feel as though the remote work though allows you to pursue that business angle more, or would you still appreciate being in the office as well to guess more networking, or just from a productivity standpoint, regardless of your business?
I think a byproduct of my business is that it is remote. You know what I'm saying? So like I can't really avoid that at
God,
this point. In order for me to avoid that, I would need to get an office and everything like that.
let's be hypothetical here. If you were able to, would you switch? Like have your own office and everything? Would you switch, or would you keep it fully remote?
I would have a hybrid circumstance.
Okay.
I thought about going to like like co-working space, but
Okay.
yeah, I would have a hybrid circumstance because I think when I'm working at home, to be quite frank, unless I'm going to like a coffee shop or something, I don't get as much work done as I could, like
Good.
as I could. I know for sure, like I'm not as productive at home as I would be if I was in an office. And that was before it wasn't like that. It just became like that because I don't have the curiosity anymore. Like I don't feel like I'm improving myself or learning anything new. So I don't care. Like it's like now I'm kind of just speed running this shit. Like somebody will say, "Hey Dre, can you do this?" Okay, cool. Send it to me. Now I'm figuring out how can I do this shit as soon as possible based off of everything I know to just get it done. And then once it's done, I'm just gonna let it sit until the deadline, and then I'll deliver it to them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
work harder, not harder. Hey,
they'll be happy with that. Like, yo, shit's done. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like, bro, when I'm 50 years old, I need more than this. Like, this is not
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
I will also say too, this is the last thing. I feel like this is a big thing, probably for both of us too. Even though I haven't been, sticking to my guns recently, but I think the best thing you could do as an entrepreneur in general is start your day with going to the gym. And I say that, or going for like a walk or something.
Yeah.
I say that because you need to, like, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna get curveballs thrown at you. There's gonna be a lot of shit that goes wrong. In my humble opinion, you need to start with something hard,
right,
first, so that anything that comes like in your day, it's like, well, bro, I just was lifting 500 pounds. Like this shit, like
yeah.
Mad, okay, whatever. Like that shit is easy to deal with. I just lifted 500 pounds. You know what I mean? I feel like when you start your day doing something that's hard that most people can't do. It helps you deal with the stress of everything else.
Yeah, the gym definitely gets you that mindset too. And sometimes I feel like it clears your mind, you
Right.
know, and you never know what you might think of after you hit that last rep. And you're like, all right, it just brightens your mood. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, for sure,
And as
man.
we see too, for most of the times too, if we think about it, like all of the social media influencers or social media preneurs or whatever you want to call them, they're in great shape,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
So I think that goes along with it, you know. So yeah,
yeah, man. I think so. I'm gonna talk about like the future of the channel. I know people
all
who
right,
been with me for a while. They probably
yeah,
shit
let's
about it.
hear.
They probably like, yo, I'm always fucking talking about the future of this channel.
Yeah,
So the future of this channel is, I think I want to just help people adopt and learn the skills. Like as I'm transitioning out of SEO and going into a new venture, I want to still be able to give back to people in a sense of helping them learn the skills that at least got me the furthest in my career in marketing. And I think the number one thing is the ability to communicate and to know how to deal with high pressured situations in the workplace. So that's probably what I'm going to be talking about a lot. I'm going to probably make a free course around it too so people can join and
okay,
just learn, you know. And I think both written and verbal communication is important, especially if you're a black person working in the
yeah,
space,
yeah,
because the
definitely,
language that they speak compared to the language that we speak is
right,
really different. And it's not to say that we're not competent enough to be able to do that. We are. It's just that we, you know, most black people tend to, I'm not going to say all, because there's people who have very sophisticated ways of speaking,
right.
but we tend to be more chill, more laid back. We don't care about being the person who knows it all and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We care about, we show love as a culture. Move.
Yep.
We show love as a
Roman get a shout out. He like, hey man,
Roman.
let
Move.
him answer a question, man.
Yeah. Yo, Roman, come here. You want to answer a question, bro? Yeah, answer. Yo, here, come here, come here, bro.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Answer a question, bro.
Well, what you think the state of the United States is going with, huh? All right. You don't get into politics. I understand. That was a good answer. You know what I'm saying? Left it up to our imaginations. All right.
You not. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna open up. You know, this was a random live stream.
Yeah.
I want to know if you guys feel like you know got value from it. If you're still watching, comment, and also if you have questions, definitely ask your questions as well, because we're probably gonna go for another like 10 minutes or so, and then I'm probably gonna end it. So, do you have any questions? You know, if you have any questions, put them in the chat below. If you have questions for Don, if you have questions for me, and we're here to like give you guys some guidance, help you, and stuff like that.
I got a question for you. I just thought of one.
All right, go ahead.
What's your favorite product? What's your favorite product that you've come across recently, or you've stood by quite some time? Like, and when you think of it, you're like, I from a marketing standpoint, damn, this is a really good product. Like,
I think, damn,
yeah.
my favorite product is my car, man.
All right. Okay. Okay.
The
Now,
less
what do you feel like they did so great with the car?
the build quality, when you sit in
Right.
it, everything it feels sturdy. Like it feels like it's not gonna break. Like everything it just feels so, I don't know, it just feels so good just driving it. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like when you get your shit wet for the first time, you know what I'm saying?
I was wondering where he was going with that. I was like,
Like,
go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this shit feel good, man. Like,
All right.
feel like you get ahead or something.
When
Like,
you when you first saw the car too, did you think like Ah man, I might have to upkeep crazy on it because, like, even though we know Lexus is a reliable brand, right?
Yeah.
You still sometimes, if you see, you're like, all right, this is a high quality, expensive car in its range. You're like, all right, like, damn, I could expect this, 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 and this. Or were you for its build quality? Like, did you think the
Nah,
maintenance would
to
be?
be honest, man, when I bought the car,
Yeah,
I would say that was like one of my highest years in business.
yeah.
So I was making so much that I think I was making like pushing half a mil at that point. So it's like I was making so much that I didn't even care.
Okay, okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even care about the build quality. I didn't even care about like if it was gonna cost me a lot. Bro, you know, bro, like I had like a little scratch on my car and I spent
Yeah,
like
I know. That's why I say it too, in a sense of like, when you're starstruck about something, but then you always have that little thought in the back of your mind, like, okay, for example, right? Audi, I know, like, I can't really push this to 250,000 miles. You know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
like, I want this though. You get me? You get me?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering if you had that thought of, even though it's a high quality brand, you was like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna still, yeah.
I think my only thought was really like, I don't know, man. I was just so hyped about the damn car. Like
Okay.
when I first got it, I was just like, my thought was more so, I can't believe I'm driving this shit.
Hey,
You know
all
what I'm saying?
right.
Like, bro,
That's
you talking to a guy who wanted to make $60,000 a year.
yeah.
That was it. I had no other like when I got into this shit,
Yeah.
I wanted to make $60,000 a year. That's it. I didn't know ever I would be able to get the car that I got,
Yeah.
live in the fucking luxury ass apartments I've lived in. Dude, like, bro, I was in, quick backstory, right? Because
All right. Give it to us.
nobody ever gets to see this side of me because all my friends be telling me, yo, on social media, you corporate as hell.
I'm telling y'all, this the exclusive.
All right, so look, last summer, not last summer, the summer before last summer.
Yeah.
I was going out, as you guys know, like I'm in the Philly area. I don't live in Philly. I live in like the suburbs of Philly, but I'm in the Philly area. I'm going to different clubs with my friend, like one of my friends in the Philly area. We just go to clubs, right? Mind you, I'm not a clubbing person like that, but I'm just like, fuck it. Like I broke up with someone. Like I'm going, like, I'm like, yo, fuck it, I'm trying to have fun.
So you're going to the club tonight. All right.
Bro, I go into this club in Philly called Biblos.
Okay.
I'm in the club. Yeah. My first time there ever. It's like first it starts off because we went there like early and they had all the windows open so you could see everything inside the club. Okay. So it wasn't crazy. So I'm just like, so my friend, he like, yo, watch, this shit about to get lit. Watch when the lights start, when the night comes. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, night comes, they start closing the blinds. Yeah. It's hella people coming in now. The club getting lit. This chick in there, funny enough, she was Instagram famous. I didn't even know her. She tried to buy me a drink.
Okay.
Buy me a drink. I'm like, all right, lit. Yeah. Thinking about it, I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I hear this dude, he buy, I hear like this alert in the gym, like baller alert. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. This dude bought a bottle that was $1,500 and he used to be an NBA player.
Yeah. Okay.
So, now I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, oh, he baller alert. Because they had like everything is lighting up. They came over to him. All of the fireworks is on, what the shit is on the plate and all of that. It's like mini fireworks coming out of the bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I look at my friend because my friend make bread too. So I'm like, yo, you trying to buy a bottle?
Yeah.
So he like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. He like, I ain't doing that. Yeah. I'm like, yo, fuck it.
Yeah.
I ordered the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
$1,500, man. I ain't give a fuck. The bottle come over.
Yeah.
Saying baller alert. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? We good. Like everybody looking at shit. I'm like, all right, we good or whatever. We barely even drink that shit, right?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was getting that shit out in the club and shit.
Yeah.
So now everybody looking at me, I'm feeling good. You feel me? I was doing shit like that. You feel me? Like going to different places, doing like fucking indoor skydiving, going to the hotels like the W, messing with all these different girls.
Helicopter rides.
What you say?
I said the helicopter rides.
No, helicopter, going to helicopter. I'm doing all of this shit, bro. I'm in my life, mind you. This how you know. He said, "Dang, Dre showing out NBA players." Yo, we gonna answer your question.
Bro, like
Answer your question in a minute.
Oh man,
I'm in there. I'm turning up, bro. I'm turning up. Mind you, this whole time I'm doing this, bro. I had 2 apartments. Remember, I had this apartment and the other apartment at the same time.
Yeah,
I was bringing females. I was bringing females here, bringing females to the other one. One night, somebody spending the night here. The other night, they spend the night somewhere else. I'm telling them, yo, I'm going to check this business real quick. Mind you, I'm coming to this apartment with the other female. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all this different shit. Bro, I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never once recorded any of this shit on. This is how y'all can tell, like, when people do shit for clout and people just do shit because that's just who they are, right?
Right.
Everything don't gotta be on social media. I don't gotta post that I went on a helicopter ride. I don't gotta post that I was on a fucking dinner cruise. I don't gotta post that I bought a $1,500 bottle. I don't gotta post that I lived in one of the biggest, most luxury apartments in Philly. You could ask Don, he been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't gotta post it. I don't gotta lie. I also don't post it because the same way that you could get that shit is the same way that you could lose that shit. So I don't got time to be on here playing this image and making people believe that I'm doing this thing and doing that. It's like if you're around me, you're gonna see it. And if you're not around me, you're not gonna see it.
Right.
I'm not, you see guys like Iman Ghazi, as you know, I could have been recording shit like that. I could have been I had the females, I had the cars.
And just to tell y'all, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I would tell him, bro, do this. Do this, bro. And he'd be like, nah. He was like, I get him to the point where he like, all right.
And then I'm like, nah.
He's like, nah.
I'm like, nah, man. So, like everything I was doing, I could have recorded it. I could have posted it on social media. I could have made it, sold this whole narrative and this story of like, yo, I'm from the hood and and I had to grow up single mom, same way as Iman Ghazi, all the trips that he done been on, all the things that all them top dudes did. This is a fact. Y'all can ask Don. He's right here.
Look, man, I'm gonna say this one more time. Look, I'll take that. If y'all could convince him with me, we gonna get crazy content. So if y'all feeling that too, I want to see it. I want to see it, man.
Yo,
tell him, please.
Yo, bro, I could have did all of that shit, man.
Bro, they ain't even see the car yet.
Yeah, they didn't see my car.
You know what I'm saying? Look, he being stingy. I mean, I see it, but hey, man.
Yo, look. I don't post none of that shit, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, you could be up today and you could be down tomorrow. That's business. Yeah. I've been in it long enough to know the only reason why them dudes post that shit on social media is because it's literally because that's how they make money. They sell y'all the lifestyle. They sell y'all the dream. They sell y'all the story. They sell y'all all of that shit, and they keep making money. Now, and then they be selling you shit that don't even work. Like the shit don't even be working.
Man, don't get me started.
Yeah, like versus me, if I was to do it, I'm gonna sell you something, but I'm gonna sell you some shit that's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if it don't work, because I had like a client, somebody I was coaching, Don knows about this too. I got him in front of hella people, doctors, lawyers, like everything. Told him everything, gave him the sales process, told him what to do. And that's my guy. I think he has something against me, but it's his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't take the opportunity.
I tell him that too. I don't count that one. I don't count.
Like I told him everything to do. I closed his sales for him. I did everything for him. Dude had to just send proposals, and even when I told him what to do to send the proposal, he was still messing up.
I
So
said
it's
the
like
guy just started and he was getting him. He got him good clients. I felt as though like it
I
was just
got
like,
him.
damn, you got a return on your investment and quick, but he just couldn't. Hey, he
Bro, like
gas. So.
yeah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, man. So like I don't post none of that shit, but maybe one day. Um,
Yeah, man. Highlight real. Get the. Hey, man.
yo,
Hey,
y'all, the chick that I'm dealing with now too, like,
hey,
yo, baddie.
y'all.
Um, yo, so
Convince him. Convince him, man.
like, yo, Raymond saying he want to see that side of Dre too.
Word. Yo, look. I need somebody to just throw him a bottle of TP Taylor Port. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I got y'all. I got y'all. I'm gonna set something up, man. He might not remember that. He did all that, but
Yo, it'd be so funny to me when y'all be telling me, yo, Dre, you too professional on YouTube. I'm like, what?
yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm too professional. And then it's like, I guess, guys, what you got to understand is I started doing YouTube because I wanted to be better at speaking. So my goal was to get the reps in with speaking to the camera. That was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I got better at that. So I can obviously code switch. Like, so but Raymond asked, he said, what does Don do? So I'm gonna let you,
Y'all ain't peep though. He said I got obviously code switch, right? He took the hat from the back to the front. Let y'all know he can keep it professional whichever way you switch it up.
yo, Raymond says, what does Don do?
I'm just an SEO manager, bro, for an automotive agency, man. So we deal with we have some good clients actually too. Alfa Romeo, Genesis, and then when we go down, we have Volvo, Infinity, Nissan, Subaru. We just got Toyota and we got another Kia dealership. So yeah.
You can't say when we go down and then say Volvo because Volvo is.
Oh yeah. My bad. Volvo up there too. Volvo up there.
Up there, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't know, but Volvo is a luxury brand.
True.
So that's a luxury. Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah. But that's pretty much my background there. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, man, maybe we should do more videos like this.
Like this. Yeah, what y'all think, man?
Yeah, Ramon says, how have you been? I guess he says, how long have you been doing SEO for? Yeah, I think Don has been doing it at this point for almost 4 years.
Yeah, yep. And yo, here's the kicker. I bought Dre's course.
And we've been friends for how long? We've been friends for
15 plus years.
Yeah, 15 plus years.
Yeah.
15 plus years. And he bought my course.
Yeah, bro.
I have friends who never supported me, who never bought my shit and never they be asking me like, yo, how to do this, how to do that. They didn't get success. He actually was like, yo, bro, I'm going to buy your course, bro. And the crazy thing is, this is how real Don is. When he bought my course, he didn't even have a job.
Man.
You ever thought about that?
I didn't because I had COVID around that time, right? Yeah. And I was listening. Oh, yes. And I was just like, bro, I don't want to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, how much is the course? I'm like, all right, I'm buying it.
Yeah, he didn't even have a fucking job, man.
Yeah, bro.
So, it goes to show, everybody with excuses on, right now, I would say, to anybody who bought the course, I know Raymond, you just bought the course. If you have any questions, you can hit me up. We can talk. As you see, I'm very responsive. You hit me up anytime in the night. If I'm up, bro, I'll respond to you. And if you ever want to get on calls or whatever too, because I know you bought the course recently, so there's some stuff with the course that's not. Yes, it needs to be updated a little bit. I will say, and I don't plan on updating it further with all this new stuff happening. So, Raymond, just so you know, you have that available to you. Whenever you're ready, if you want to hit me up, get on a call, we could talk, bro. I know we always speak, but if you have questions specifically about everything moving forward and everything that's happening in this whole industry, you can always hit me up, bro, and we can get on a call. I think the next thing really is just, like I said, focusing on communication skills for people and like I said, maybe more live streams. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to know what to create content about when you've accomplished the goal. Like I've accomplished the goal of wanting to learn how to speak better. I think. I think if you look at my videos now, you compare them from years ago, 2 years ago, it was like I was terrible. And honestly, I think what helped, the biggest thing that helped me with learning how to communicate better was putting myself in circumstances where I had no time to do research and I
Mhm.
had to go off the top of my head. Like to me, that helped me become a better communicator. So doing a podcast helped me a lot because I didn't do any research on anybody that I did a podcast with. And I told them, I was open with them that, hey, I'm not gonna research you. Like I just wanna I found your content, found it interesting, and I wanna have an organic conversation. So let's talk about what you have going on. Um, Me and Cynthia did that for a few years. And me and Cynthia are actually gonna put out content again
Okay.
soon. So yeah,
Oh, podcast. Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, but you said his name was Raymond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think you made a good choice. As I said, like, bro, and I got a job in like 3 months, bro. That's why when he says like, he helped the other guy, and I personally don't count that because I feel like if you put forth the work with the information Dre provides you with, even with you talking to Dre, like he's going to steer you in the right direction, and you'll get over all those hurdles and nuances that you'll take with another course or you may see on YouTube and all these other things that you don't necessarily need right now. So I think you're in good hands, bro. Especially with all the years he's had in the industry, what he's accomplished as well too. Like, yeah, yeah. So pat yourself on the back, bro, because you're making a good step. You're in the right direction, right before the new year starts. So yeah, bro.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. So, you know, I'm gonna go walk my dog and then I gotta get him some food.
All right, look, yeah, yeah. He just came out of the
Yeah,
cut. Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he's he wants that food and then on top of that, all right, bro, stop. Um, bro, I just walked you,
So you gotta go again.
bro. He just all in it. Yo, Roman, what are you doing? Yo, look at this dude.
Yeah. He's like, huh? Are you
He
want to
just
go?
trying to lick the screen. Like, bro, you know how he be too, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, my
Cool.
dog,
Yeah,
man,
he cool.
yeah, he a cool
He a
dog.
part of it, yeah. So,
Once he gets to know you and he likes you as a person, he a cool dog.
yeah.
But he just be licking you way too much. I had a girl here one time and she told me like, yo, I think and she works with dogs. She used to work I mean, she works in a veterinarian or animal hospital
Okay, okay.
and I'm talking about India.
Yeah.
And she told me she was like, yo, your dog, like I deal with so many dogs and your dog has like a chronic licking issue. She's like, yo, he just always licks. Like I'm like, I'm sorry. But yeah, bro. All right, guys. Well, if you watched all the way through, thank you so much for watching. Raymond, always hit me up, bro, if you ever need anything. Whoever else watched, I know I saw a couple people in here, but I don't know who did. I guess I'll end this off by saying one last thing. What would you guys like to see next? Just so I can put it on my radar, and that way I know.
Hey,
And
well,
hold on. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna see what they say, and then
okay.
see. And we out, man.
Cool, cool. Yeah, this was a good live. I think it was
Word.
great. Ah man, what I'm gonna get? Yo, what you eating, bro? What's for dinner?
Oh, I honestly want some salmon.
Oh,
Oh, he said content like this.
it's not bad.
All right, yeah. Do you enjoy the live stream, or do you enjoy? I don't know. I want to do more lives because I feel like this type of environment is my type of environment. I don't think pre-recorded videos. I think it's like stuff like this. It's like um stuff like this, stuff that's about like philosophy and stuff like that as well. Maybe like book reviews. I honestly want to build a community, like a school community or something, to be honest, of just a group of individuals that, like I kind of had it with, Jimmy, Candace, Devontae, other people. Um, but it's on WAP. I don't really like WAP. So yeah, that's a thing. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys later. Yo, Don, I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, bro.
Yo, let's try to do this like on Fridays, like maybe bi-weekly, not every week. Cause
All right.
yeah, we could do that. All right, man. All right, guys.
Ghosts.
Be sure to, if you missed it, I'm gonna leave it up. You can rewatch the whole thing. We went through a lot on this live. I feel like there's a lot of gems to learn in here, and yeah, peace.
All right.
All right, guys.